Like, do I have to go like this?
You can pull it out like you're at an open mic.
Oh, really?
Say open mic, but...
Yeah, if you need to take it out, you can do like that, and the whole thing will fucking fall off. Guys! Welcome on Burger Podcast. Episode
10.
Episode 10. Am I coming through here?
Yeah.
You're fine, but you want to... Oh, you're fine.
No,
You're good.
Yeah, I
You're
switched
good.
over. But do we hear me volume-wise?
Let's figure that out.
Let's check out volume before I even speak to people. We're very professional.
We're good.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, episode 10?
Yes.
Episode 10, mobile studio. Yeah, pretty exciting. Usual suspects are here. We got Mr. Ryan Talmo.
Hey, guys.
And Theo Manhattan.
Oh, it gets better and better every week.
And then we have special guests. We got Dinah Leffert.
What's up, you guys?
And J.R. Redwater.
Hey.
And now, here's the thing. We have a fun game, too, we're going to play.
What is it?
I was so excited.
Yeah, no, it's
we
a fun
came
little
up
game
with
at the
it.
end we're going to play. It's called How Much Do You Think the Organs Cost? Because the thing came out.
It's the Price is Right
Yeah.
Black Market Organ Edition.
Great game.
Well, it's that this thing came out where they told all the different prices.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
what
Ranker
organs go for on
released
the
an
black market.
listicle about what it costs to purchase a...
I would imagine it's a hefty price.
But
I mean...
you're giving us if the price is
Okay, sorry. Let me be quiet. Shh, I gave too much away.
They don't want these organs.
Unless you want a pickled liver.
Daniel's... okay, Daniel is listening and watching right now. Daniel's probably Theo's worst enemy because he is...
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Daniel's the one that believes that the Earth is flat. And he's also...
Daniel...
Fallenbach. He's
he's a flat earther.
He's a flat earther, but he also thinks 9/11 is a hoax too.
A hoax?
Not a hoax, but a.
I mean, it happened.
It happened, but he might chime in and just correct me, but it was all set up.
It was a conspiracy.
A conspiracy, yeah.
Wait, hold on, because that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And what I want to get into first is, well, for one thing, JR.
Yes, sir.
You served how many years? And where?
Inside job, that's what he said.
Yeah, no, it was. But I mean, that's my feeling too. But
Yeah.
But you served. Like, tell us you were in which branch? And before you sit down, Theo, can we just do the camera there a little bit this way? Wait, no, I'm sorry, this way. The other way. Sorry. Okay. And then that one's perfect. Go for it. I think we're good.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, JR.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, so I served in the United States Navy from the 95 to 99, and I did 3 Westpac cruises, and I was on 2 different aircraft carriers, and I used to launch planes off of Catapult 3, so I was one of the green shirts up on the flight deck, and we used to launch those planes.
That's what you see in the news all the time.
Yeah. On CNN.
It is
yeah.
like a catapult.
It's like on CNN, so it is Catapult 3, and it was in the waste catapult, and so I was an aviation boatswain's mate, equipment, so
Oh no shit. Keep
yeah,
going.
yeah,
We're just getting
no.
everything perfect.
So that was my job, is launching planes, and I pretty much worked on the USS Independence. I was forward deployed in Yokosuka, Japan. That was my first place I was stationed at, and that was a conventional aircraft carrier. And then after I went to the Middle East in 95, and we did Operation Southern Watch, and I went back to Japan, and that was around the time, like there was a lot of heat, if you remember, in 95, when there was like this Marine that couple Marines that raped a girl over there, even in Japan.
I had no idea what war even was.
So then in '96, I went on a Carl Vinson, a nuclear aircraft carrier, and I went back to the Middle East, and we did Operation Desert Strike and something else. But
Maddox said,
the Indy, yeah. She said, "OMG, my dad and uncle were on the USS Independence. That's CV-62. It's decommissioned right now, but that's the first ship I was on, and the second one was the USS Carl Vinson." And that one's CVN-70. It's nuclear, so that's down in San Diego right now. I think aircraft carrier. Yeah, so I worked on the flight deck. Yeah, so and in '98 I went back for the third time on the Carl Vinson, and we did operations Desert Fox.
Were you in Iraq or you were Afghanistan, right?
No, we were in the Persian Gulf. And so I went there when I was 19, and as soon as you enter the Gulf, back then it was all filled with smoke and like fires from the oil wells and stuff. So it looked like war. It looked like hell. So, and then I don't know. You're just there floating around and doing operations and not letting people go certain places and just kind of policing the area,
Kind of wild, right?
Yeah, no, I was real young. I was 19 then. So, in my mind, it was like you go from over here where, we're free, right? And then you go over there and then you see
what real freedom is.
Devastation, right? It's just, and so that gets implanted in your mind, all those images, you're constantly trying to figure out why you're there because you morally want to be right when you're there too. Yeah, and so
especially at that age you think no, is that why you joined? You were like, fuck it, I want to, or you were like, I'm getting in a lot of trouble, might go to jail, joined?
No, it was more like I'm trying to leave the res, and I want to see the world, and I want to from the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, the one that they just put the pipeline through. Yeah. If you ever heard of that, right? Yeah. So, I was there. Yeah, I was born there. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah.
But what a fucked up thing. Again, I've always said this when they say that, native people, I'm like, no, Chinese came across the Bering Straits. Let's keep it real. Not native. We don't even know who was native to this land. But when we say that your people got fucked over, native or not, whatever, you got fucking robbed. But then they went, hey, here's a little something. And then they went, actually, now we're going to use it. And it's like, wait, it's way too many years later to still be fucking over native people,
My ancestors fought against Custer and the 7th Cavalry.
No, they hated
You know why? Because we're trying to stop the railroad back then.
Well, because that coming is only going to bring more people.
Yeah, and that's big corporations. So my ancestors cost them over $1 billion back then. And our people today, who are the descendants, we cost them over $1 billion, and that's why they were so pissed. That's why they shot at us. My nephew was there on the front line getting shot by the U.S. government, and that was this year.
Okay, so now let me say this.
Yeah,
now, this is
and we were there.
No, heartbreaking. So, but my question then. What made you want to join a military for that government?
I told you I wanted to travel and see the world. I needed to get off the res. I didn't want to stay stuck there and become like...
No judgment.
And more likely than not, I would become an alcoholic there and not become anything. Yeah, so that's why... Sure. It was either... join the Navy, see the world, or join the Indian Navy. We had like 10 canoes, and so it's like see part of Lake Sakakawea. I don't know, So, but really, I just was thinking about my future, and I was thinking about like all my life, how living on the res, I wanted to leave. I wanted to see what was out there in the world, and I experienced that because I've been all over the world. I lived in Japan. I've seen what war was like. I've seen why we have war now, and it's for big oil. It's for oil and drugs.
Let me ask you a
Oh,
question, though, and this is kind of off topic because I really want to get to the 9/11 stuff and all that, and just talking about, where we were at, where we're at now, what's kind of changed. But the question I have for you is, a lot of reservations got casinos or money for casino things like that. They were able to open casinos. They're making good money, but it's not being dispersed equally, for my knowledge.
Well, not only that, that's a myth that all Indians are doing good now because probably only about 5% or less of the gaming casinos are actually making money. And yeah, but that's 5% or less of the whole Indian population, so it's not all. And that money actually goes back into communities and into the programs there. But yes, there's a lot of people that embezzle.
Like Morocco.
They embezzle and they take more, or they try to disenroll people, cut people out, make up new rules, So, I mean, that's all on a tribal level, though,
I was gonna say, like, people think that they're, all the time. People are like, think that natives are on the res, just getting drunk on the res, and that's all they're doing. But they don't realize there are native ballers that are in Las Vegas right now, drinking.
Right,
in
there are
Vegas.
people like the rest of us.
Ballers.
My grandma's Native American.
Well, but the thing, what I mean is, though, like, for example, you have like a Morongo, or like you said, you got native people that are living in the upper high 100 millions.
Yeah, those are rich people with poor people problems, bro. Come on now, because that's the truth right there.
The thing is, when you look at that, is that not upsetting? That, okay, how do you go, well, you did this to us, but you're sitting there with millions and you aren't kicking it to the people to the right of you.
They do.
They're in poverty. No,
a lot of them
share, though, but the tribes don't share. Their tribe does well.
A lot of them do.
Doing great.
There's a tribe in Minneapolis that does that for all the surrounding tribes, and they come in and they help them, and then they build them up.
Right, we have the Salvation Army. I mean, I get it. Some people are good.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, though, is if every tribe went, okay, all the money is just being dispersed between all the tribes, every single tribe would be doing better. Not one wouldn't be a multi, in the 100 millions, like a Morongo, which is profiting hundreds of millions. It wouldn't be like that. It would be all of them good. I don't think that human nature is like that. But I think it's ironic because, again, there was a time when you were horrible savages that just attacked people, and then you went from that. While you were transferring, the Arabs were becoming villains from being glamorous and beautiful.
Yeah.
You were going from being savages to being wise and exotic and spiritual and one with nature. But, hey, just like everywhere else, there were a bunch of dicks, and there were a bunch of cool people. And so what I mean is, like, so when you really...
So it's like what we're doing. This is humorous.
Yeah.
And you use humor to humble each other around the circle, And that's what it was. And they did too back then. The tribal councils, whenever they came together to make decisions, if one guy tried to raise himself up, then the other guys in the tribe would just make fun of him and knock him back down. So that's where Indian humor came from, is we made fun of each other to humble each other. So, I mean, and that's how I think it's been used, not just among natives, but I know culturally that's how we used it. And so nowadays, I mean, it's just like people go off a lineage, or they'll go off a blood quantum, or they'll go off of how famous or big their family is, or whatever. I mean, there's reasons why they do it, but I mean, I never wanted to get involved in Indian politics because, I mean, It's just it's more of like a nepotism type thing, you know. It's who has the biggest Indian family, and if you mess with that family, usually that family's doing better than the rest of the other Indian families that are living there, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that happens.
You know what it is? But everything you just said is keeping up with the Kardashians, basically. But it's Native Americans, you know, and again, like I say, we stopped Indian, which was stupid because they weren't Indian. We went to Native Americans, but not Native. Again, the fact is, you know, China or Asian came across the Bering Straits. Simple fact, you know, it migrated and became the Indians, who then got raped to death by everybody who came through and became Mexicans and Salvadorians and other things like that. And then us Jews got really scared of Hitler, and then a lot of Salvadorians became Jews that are Guzman and things like that, and a lot of Mexicans were Jews, you know. But so it's this whole mix.
They've blown your mind.
There was a great Salvadorian general who saved many of us, and there's a statue in Israel of him. And so, but there's this whole thing. And so when we get to the 9/11 thing, the reason I say that is because we have just been part of these silly games of, like I say, at one point it was totally fine to shit on what we called Indians because you were savages. Look at the TV show.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah, that's how they paint us.
God.
But the Jewish people painted us like that here in Hollywood because that's how they depicted us. That's how they depicted us. Come on. Ooh.
We weren't here when they we didn't run Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yo, are you sure?
40s and 50s, bro. We were
weren't
blacklisted.
Here. We were blacklisted.
They were doing the trials.
So who's doing the movies now?
Hearings. They were doing
Who's doing the movies now?
nailing Jews. Well, but this is the thing. Yeah, look at the movies now.
Yeah,
You're
see?
Wait, you're
And it's
gorgeous,
still-
You're a hero.
Oh, man.
Oh, come on. No, that's not the way it goes.
Geronimo won and lived. I mean, like, they really just...
Okay, so Kevin Costner, explain that.
Dances with
Come
Wolves
on.
is garbage.
He's selling Indians out
Let me tell you
too.
this. You show me one more fucking white person playing an Indian, I'll stab him in the throat.
Don't you hate it?
But also, that was the history, okay? That was.
I
remember being in school, and I'm Gen Xer, and seeing a book in my library called "The Hostile Indians." Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how they're still teaching that?
Who is okay?
You know what? If someone was raping and stealing your land, you'd be fucking pissed off too.
Certain
Well, now
tribes
again,
were
though,
hostile. Certain tribes were very more hostile than other tribes.
No, they fought.
They
It
fought.
was like
No,
certain
no.
Jews were
But, like,
annoying. No,
who-
we fought.
Who is the most like like the Aztecs? Weren't they hot? Like, I don't know.
No,
Maybe
they fought for their right. But now let me say this though. But when you say when people steal your land, one of your laws is you can't own land, right?
Well, you see, our people never owned land. We never put ownership on it.
You know who?
I mean, we believe in fighting over
Territory.
another territory to gain food or whatever.
Someone in an anthill beheading them, raping their women, things like that. Nothing big.
Yeah.
Just shit like that.
Just-
Nothing like the white people did. Exactly. But you know, but that's
Did the white people do that?
Just-
Which ones?
Literally,
Which ones did it?
the ones that were led there by the native people.
Are you white? Are you
I'm a
white?
Jew. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't even here. My people were over
I
in
wasn't
fucking
here.
Germany,
I'm
ducking and
white.
hiding.
I'm white, but
Yeah.
I wasn't.
No,
I didn't-
no.
I didn't-
I
You know what?
didn't-
Actually, Talmo's uncle
yeah, my
literally
my
has a
uncle-
record for the most kill. No, you know. so,
Talmo.
so what it is, what I'm saying though is, so when we talk about coming into the whole 9/11 thing, it's literally the same bullshit. They're basically, they did the Cowboys and Indian thing with the Arab people, or the...
Yeah, it's the same thing.
We all
No,
said
it's
the same
exactly
era.
the. Okay.
We all know I said Arab.
Well, listen. Hitler did it to the Jews. He modeled what he did to the Jews after what Americans did to the Native Americans.
Yeah, but blaming Hitler for what happened is like blaming Ronald McDonald for the burger. He was just a spokesperson. He had nothing to do with what went on. There was a Nazi party that was strong and in power that used this dude. And again, my belief has always been, and it's starting to slowly come out, and it keeps creeping out, and they keep shutting it down, is that Hitler was a Rothschild. And
Really?
it's the Rothschilds that funded the Holocaust, and people don't get that. But again,
Why would the Rothschilds fund something against their own
insane,
people?
right? Insane.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dinah's a
Okay, you better have a good
Or
story.
is it because, but that's what I'm saying, when you get into it, when you look at the conspiracies, and so when we go to, like to jump to an idea, go on.
Let's just talk about how you control women by, like, all the men get a fucking microphone, all right?
Oh,
Let's
no.
just, this
No,
is
wait,
how
wait.
we can still
What?
control
Wait a
women,
second,
okay?
Wait a second, no, I will give up my microphone because I'm a firm believer in this. I've said
not
that-
supposed to be on
No,
this one.
no, you're fine, and we thought you were already on, so you were welcome. Yeah, we were excited. We love you. And so,
I love you
but here's
too.
the thing.
I love you guys too.
And here's the thing is, funny enough, is one of my beliefs in life is that everybody, black people, your people, every people, eat a dick and shut up. Because unless you're going to treat women equal, fuck you.
Thank you.
Because if your women aren't treated equal, then hey, guess what, karma? Motherfuckers aren't going to treat you equal. And that's how it works. And go.
And there's
please.
not a revolution in the world that can be won without women.
There's-
Not one. And
there's
usually,
nothing that can be done without women.
they're led by women. And something
Yeah.
that people need to know
Right.
about Standing Rock that just happened was the women were leading the charge. The youth
Never
started
heard about 'em, though.
the youth started it, but the women
Is that
completely
true?
led the charge.
Were you
The,
one of
the
them?
Hear about it,
grandmothers. I mean,
Because the media shut it down.
But now,
media shut it down, but you gues need to know that if you're looking for feminism in America,
Yeah.
it lives proudly on the reservation.
Yeah.
It lives proudly. It is something to model our country over.
Now let me ask you
I
this.
come from a matriarchal family,
But
so
are women considered straight up equal to men in... God damn it, they
make
have
them
got
feel
to
worse.
give you guys... we have got to just either deal with the fact that you're Asian, because I hate saying Native American, because it's so generic. To-
call you Asian.
no, but to blanket you,
I don't look that Asian, do I?
Actually.
No,
But...
no.
Point. No. If you looked at Asian people, you would be like, "Holy shit, I get it." But
Well, I've never had like Asians come up to me and be like talking
Sorry,
to me
but-
in their language. I've had Latinos coming up to
the
me.
dick thing's a
His dick is way too big.
Yeah. But the dick thing's a fallacy. The dick thing's a fallacy because there's a lot of Koreans with big.
J.R.
dicks.
Redwater is
But-
a very
yeah.
Asian name.
No. What I'm saying.
I thought it was a Christian name myself, Redwater.
No,
What
it's
I'm
very,
saying
it's
is,
very Chinese.
what I'm saying is, if you really look at you though, like here, hold on, give me the camera.
Chinese.
Give me the
Very
camera.
Chinese.
And watch this. I want this scene.
It's like
I asked my parents like how we got that name.
It's
You know?
crazy Chinese.
Look at this. I want close up, right? Okay.
Okay.
If anyone in this fucking world is looking at this face and not seeing
A Native
partial
American.
Chinese or Asian, Korean, any of those things in his face, you absolutely are blind. Because the thing is, if we can set that back right, because the thing is that, yeah, you totally do look Asian. You have an Asiatic look to you. You do have the eye point. You have the whole thing. My mom had it. She was African, Sephardic Jew.
His son told me some interesting history.
Tell me.
Okay, so Titan Redwater, also a comedian,
That's a great name.
JR's
That's a great
son,
name, yeah.
was telling me that his mom, who's Lakota native, said that they believe that they're Japanese.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
Japanese.
Of course, they are. Yeah, they are.
They're ancient Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, they,
Actually, remember
They're
when
white
I
now though the Japanese now, they don't look like they did. The
No.
Japanese now are super white, but they had the same kind of like white supremacism bullshit that in their own culture.
but we're not related, so we can still go out with them
No, yeah. No, I don't care if I.
if
ever-
we wanna,
I
you
don't-
know.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not real.
I mean, we're distantly
Look,
related.
My kids.
It's like when we first got here, we set up fast food restaurants.
Cousins are good. Here's the thing. No, but what I'm saying though.
How
is-
come we're not good at math then?
But what I'm saying is.
Tell me that.
No, you know what?
Tell me why we're not good at math.
Racist
See,
motherfucker.
you're
No,
you're missing the link right there, bro.
Because not all Asians are good at math. Some of them are working in rice fields every goddamn day and they can't even read. But because some of them, we got all the rich ones that were good at school. We thought they were all smart.
Actually, it was that one Asian guy, Genghis Khan. He just went out with everyone, every country he conquered, and he went out with everybody.
You know what is funny is he's getting drunk.
It's
though.
1 in 6.
Yeah, just watching.
It's
you drink.
1 in 6.
Who's your daddy, Genghis Khan? Who's
Yeah.
your daddy, Genghis
See?
Khan?
Yeah.
Who's your
So yeah, you look like Genghis Khan too, though. So we're related, bro. You're Asian.
No, yes.
Put that camera at his face like he did mine, and let's find out if he's Asian or not.
You know what
You need to like it if you
wait,
think he's
wait.
looking like
You-
Genghis Khan.
If you do a close up like this of me, all you're gonna find out is that I'm pretty fucking upset. In life. But you know what it is? What I'm saying is, like, this is the thing: is my mom was a Sephardic Jew. She was very dark. Yeah, she had to have some Asiatic blood in her because of the eyes. I have part of them, a little tiny bit, things like that. Here's what I'm saying though: is we all go back to one thing, but when it comes back to it, I say this because you fought in the service, and the main topic we want to hit on here is that.
We're off topic.
I know we fucking
We
fly.
haven't
go
called
everywhere.
it
Yeah.
We don't segue. We don't segue.
We
You know what
digress.
it is? A lot of people right now are trying to do some shit. I've noticed there's a few podcasts popping out with doing unprofessional
events?
shit.
Yeah.
But you watch them and they literally plan their unprofessionalism. We are
We
just
never do.
unprofessional.
We
We
risked-
really
we
are.
risked it.
We ain't gotta fake it.
Yeah, no,
That's the beauty of it.
We ain't gotta fake
But
our
the podcast went
unprofessional.
out because what this
We're
is
raw,
this is
man.
100% real. It's real people.
7-10.
We're comics. None of this is about comedy. We talk about life and things like
That's
that.
right.
So,
Yeah.
so with the 9/11 thing, here's my thing: is like
And 9/12.
you served in the military, and here's the thing: is so many people believe that 9/11 was an inside job. I'm one of those believers. I 100% believe that our country killed thousands of Americans to simply open heroin.
Yep.
That simple. Heroin was shut down by the Taliban. People want to come up with fake ass stories talking about how the Taliban was still selling heroin. Whatever. Bullshit stories, I say. But the fact is, we do know that they were beheading motherfuckers and killing their families for growing poppy.
Yeah.
And they shut it down. Heroin in America died. America Pharmaceutical came up with Oxycontin to keep the heroin addicts and the housewives going.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is our soldiers, and I've always said this,
Mhm.
I dislike our government greatly. I support our soldiers 100%. Our servicemen and women are fucking heroes. And you know what my thing is? Yeah, you know what? I 100% don't believe in what you're fighting for. I 100% believe that you are fighting for what you believe is my right to be free. And I
True.
respect and honor you for it.
Not just yours, but liberty and justice for all.
Everybody. No, but I say my
All is all.
But I say my right because I have to look at it as, like when you were serving in the Army, first of all, I'm anti-war, and I don't like our politicians, and I'm not an American. I'm a human being. However, I respect you and appreciate you to no end for you going and standing up for what you believed was our right to freedom.
Right, we're not going to invite him on just to berate him.
Oh God, no, never.
Like,
We respect our service
bureaucracy
people to
support you.
no end because it's simply
It's
that.
still our country, though.
You know what it is? Yeah.
So I'm off fighting too for it.
well, that
still.
no, you're
Because we're gonna ship you guys all back.
We
We're
need some-
we're building the boats.
I
We're
can't-
getting them ready.
I've seen your boats. Like Disneyland with new Small World shit. but what I'm saying is, where the fuck is my ashtray? I had one. Is it behind? Oh, it's right behind you, Dinah, I think. Oh God, thank you. And so,
For
now,
spot your.
it's not mine; it's ours, and anyone can have some, of course.
See, this is the great thing, is that no matter what happens on video, it sounds way better on audio.
Yeah.
Because you don't see
Yeah.
any of this.
Yeah,
No, you know,
great,
it's
great.
fine because you know what. But here's the
Great.
thing, and so it's a big thing with me. Is 9/11? Like you weren't fighting at that time. You were out of the service by that time, right?
Yeah.
But there were so many people. Josh O'Brien served. So many people we know who served. That served.
It was the same war, bro.
Well, no, yeah.
It's the same war.
That's what people don't understand.
It's the same war.
Well, and you know what's funny is,
dude. First of all, let me interject. I gotta talk about some things you hit on. There's some things you hit on here. You're talking about the drugs in the Middle East. That's exactly why we're there. We're not gonna leave billions of dollars on the table. The government does not do that. Okay, so we're gonna go over there. We gotta run some oil pipelines through Syria, so that's why we created ISIS. Did you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So we ran some pipelines through Syria. We and Iraq. Why? Because we got to get oil through there.
Yeah.
Why did we take out Saddam Hussein? Because he wanted to take his oil off the dollar, right?
Well, not only that, not only
See?
that,
so we can't have that coming?
Was coming out with shit.
No. I mean, so it's the same thing why they hate anybody that's a revolutionary, because we're not buying into the bullshit no more. I got blood on my hands. I mean... Yeah.
You fought for your country. You fought for what you felt was right. You have no blood on your hands because whether you were convinced, whether you were talked into it, your ideal was to save the people you love and to protect the country that you stand for.
That was your.
And you know what? Like, but guess what? You know, thank you for that. But you know. There's something else called PTSD.
Yeah, of course.
So, and that's a real thing I found out lately. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no.
And it's really been affecting me, you know. So I'm just thinking, like,
it's
you know,
insane.
because I mean, we shot a gun.
Yeah.
It was called a catapult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big gun, you know, and we shot big bullets, and they did
killed
big
lots of
things.
people.
Yeah.
But you know what it is?
So.
Here's the thing, though.
But I saw those images.
But you know what it is?
It's crazy, man.
The insanity is we are taught that you fight for your country. What country?
Yeah. That's what I was going for, you know. That's what I was going for.
But
then you realize,
your ideal was right.
Yeah. Then when we come back here, guess what? Our mindset is we still have to protect our country. Even here, against foreign domestic enemies.
Worse, we
take that oath, and that oath is for life.
Yeah.
You know, so we can't back down ever, no matter what. And, you know, there's most of us that went in that we fought for real freedom. We fought for the constitutional rights. We fought for our Constitution. And that Constitution actually...
You know it was heroin.
The Constitution is actually what's keeping us from becoming a one-world government.
Well,
once they get rid of that Constitution, it's going to become a one-world government. And then that's when they get rid of all religion, they get rid of freedom of religion, the right to carry, any of it. They're getting rid of any of it, and they're slowly diluting the Constitution away. That's why after 9/11, they came out with Homeland Security, because they're going to start eroding our rights away. They're listening on our phones right now. They're listening on our phones right now. When I was in Standing Rock, they tapped my phone because I was in the camp. They tapped her phone. They tapped anybody else's phone that was in the camp at Standing Rock. And when we went home, they could shut your phone off even if it was on 50%. And then guess what? They're listening. And then they could watch you through your own cameras and track you and listen to you. And guess what? Because you were fighting against the government at Standing Rock because you didn't want them to put a big oil corporations, private big oil corporations pipeline through where 300 Indian burials were up on that hill.
Wait. Let's go deeper. They also didn't want the pipelines going through because the people in the area would then die from the fumes.
If they bursted and the oil gets in your drinking water, yes.
It's like
it's contamination of Mother Earth.
It's murder. It's
contamination.
Murder. What our government did with that pipeline.
Well, they took that pipeline instead of. They originally had it planned to be run across north of Bismarck, which is the capital, but because racism, they put it south where it just ran above the Indian reservation.
Well, now keep in mind though, when this is my thing though, when we say racism,
That's what it was,
we mean
brother.
economicism.
Okay.
What we mean is economicism.
Well, we could talk about that
what
too,
you
but
mean
there is straight up
yeah,
racism
what
there.
I mean is, though,
Have you seen it, Dinah?
oh no, I know.
It's the deep north. People know about the deep south and the racism there, but people don't know about the deep north. It is disgusting. You guys, you don't understand. We're like a biracial couple there. Like people were disgusted by us.
That's gotta be weird.
It was frightening.
You know me.
What happened when the cops followed us?
Oh yeah, I was white knuckling it
Watch
for
this.
30 minutes while they chased us for 30 minutes. Not chased us, but like
Yeah.
intimidating us for 30 minutes away from the Standing Rock
The
camp.
worst time I ever had was leaving California, heading up north. I was back in 87, 88.
It's racist there,
Watch
bro.
this. I have long
Can't
hair,
deny
hoop
it.
earrings. I'm Jewish. My buddy Dave Weinstein, who looks very Jewy, also has long hair with hoop earrings.
And where
our
were
buddy,
you?
And our buddy Rolando. We went from here to New York and all the way down through Florida and everything, right? Went around the whole country. Watch this. Didn't get fucked with except for north. Once we hit the south, they were the sweetest, nicest people. They couldn't be more accommodating, more kind, more considerate. And so now, but that was my experience. Other people would have the exact opposite or this or that. And what it is that the world is kind of fucked. And when I was saying earlier how the tribes, not all of them are sharing, how even back in the day they were selling each other out. This is what I'm saying is the world is fucked. You got good and bad, and we really got to get to a point where the good start moving right together. You know, and we get over the white, black, Latin, this, that, Asian, everything else. We get over all this, and we stop believing all the bullshit. And so when I talk about, like, with the 9/11, that's the thing, is when we can all kind of realize, hey, a fucking building doesn't come down like that when planes hit it at the top. Everything's been already realized. This is bullshit. Some shit went down. They killed thousands of Americans so they could go take over a country. And
Well, you know how much money's being made.
Let me finish one
Yeah.
point, because I said about Hitler being a Rothschild. Here's what people don't realize. If you map out every country we've attacked and taken over, you know what's followed our takeover? The installation of Rothschild banks.
Yeah.
People don't realize this,
Yeah.
that Iran, North Korea, and Iraq originally and places like that
I know.
would not allow the Rothschild banks in or those dollars in
Yep,
or this and
I
that.
know.
And so we attacked them along with taking the oil or along with reopening the heroin.
Yep.
The banks went in.
Yep.
And so when we talk about
What's all money control?
well, when we talk about
Yeah,
Ding
it's-
Khan or whatever his fucking name is,
They want the money, the
Oh,
power.
Kim Jong-un.
yeah, and
Kim
when we talk about
Jong-un.
him though,
Kim Jong-un.
is he the devil or is he the savior? And
can Dennis Rodman do anything?
what can't
Breaking
he do?
story.
Right?
He was transgender before it was even fucking cool.
Nah, he was boring, and then Madonna told him to wear makeup, and he fucking got famous. That's what happened. Okay.
Iran and North Korea. Back when Bush administration, this is where things was unraveling, but there was this axis of evil,
Yeah,
and every axis of evil is
a
country-
non-Rothschild,
Yeah, and it's countries that did not want any involvement
and that's what I'm
of
saying.
Western America.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Okay, yeah.
Every other country is involved.
But
Every country is owned by the Rothschild family except for Iran and North Korea. And when I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan, guess why we have a forward deployed aircraft carrier there and other ships
Oh, yeah.
and battle crew, right?
Yeah.
And then we go right out to the Sea of Japan. Guess where we're off the coast of? North Korea.
Hello.
Now here's the
Been
line
there.
we can go. Here's another step further. And I'm gonna jump into our second and last segment before we do the fun fucking game. Is simply this. There are people.
It's funny. Can I say this?
Yeah.
It's funny how.
At a major point, but yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how.
Where's your land? Go ahead and take my point.
I started out at 19. No, I started at 19 years old going over there, doing the stuff that eventually got done to my people in Standing Rock this past year. Exactly
Funny
the same
that-
thing we did over there, they did to us.
But the
And I got to live it, though.
The irony of it, though.
It is, isn't it?
And so then we realize the world's fucked. Now watch this. So we go into the segment of many people believe that the rapture has happened. Now, when I was researching this, the first thing I thought is, like that's stupid. But in researching it,
Right.
it started hitting me because I'm a big believer in the Mandela effect and things like that. But what if the Mandela effect wasn't a timeline change, but was literally that Mandela was gone, the real Mandela, the real everybody who was like that, who was willing to put their life on the line, who was an honest, good person, gone, but by soul. Powers that be, meaning if they always say that the rapture will happen where Jesus will come down and Jesus will pull the people up. Do we have volume and everything?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
We're
I
good.
just
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So Jesus is going to pull everyone, or God's going to pull everyone up, and everyone who stays will just stay, and it basically becomes hell on earth. Now, what if, imagine this, that the rapture happened, but the powers that be that are evil realize people like me and you, and you, and you, and you, were not bad, but I have plenty of reasons to go to hell. Probably more. Me and you probably have more than anyone else here.
No,
That's
me
why
more
we
than
might be
any
going
of
to
you.
hell. Oh, trust me, I got a good opinion. But why we would be not going to heaven, and I get why I wouldn't go to biblical heaven. Now you might have knowledge of why you might not go to heaven. You might know why you might not go to heaven, like fucking that girl on the sidewalk.
Oh, there's times.
Different things. Maybe the Bible's right, and you're fluid gender, and you're not.
I have never worried about that ever. I am.
No. But imagine if this was hell on earth, but if you knew you didn't get into heaven, the rapture happened, it's over. This is where you're at. There's no fixing it. There's no Jesus praying to. There's no doing right anymore. How do you change, though? Wouldn't you be like, wait, whoa, fuck this. I'm going to jump on someone's back, ride through the towns, and kill.
I am by nature, I'm a compassionate, loving person, and I don't need to believe in heaven or hell to change that about myself.
Oh, I agree. No, I agree.
That's my connection with other
I
people.
agree with you.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
let's pretend they're right.
Yeah.
And the rapture.
I probably would do more cocaine.
Well, but who here would, now, like, I will tell you this, okay?
It'd be the purge just 24/7.
I would literally kill fucking people. No lie. No, like, there's people I would kill immediately if I knew that the rapture happened. Because me and Theo were talking about this earlier, and he was saying how prison...
Without naming names, what does it rhyme with?
No, it's so many. I couldn't rhyme that much. I didn't be M&M. And so...
It rhymes with orange.
So you have a Pesci list.
Yo,
You have
I have a joke where I always said, like, when you have the list of people you'd kill if
Yeah.
you ever became terminally ill.
Yeah.
You know, I go, yeah, mine's in tablet form above my bed, but like written out. And so, but me and Theo were talking, and
So it'd be a lot like prison, kind of.
well, he said his fear, the reason he doesn't do wrong is prison.
Well, I do wrong, just not the right wrong.
Meaning you're not going to you wouldn't kill someone because you're afraid of going to prison.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not. I don't have that fear of prison.
I would be someone
I don't
but
kill people because I do believe in the afterlife. I do believe in judgment. And I'm not religious, but I do believe at some point you have to be judged on your life. And so I live my life in that sense. I also made a weird deal with God, if there is one.
So you believe in God?
I don't know. But I made a deal in the sense of, look, if my kids are great, I'm great. I'll relax. Something happens to my kids, I'll wipe out fucking so many people so goddamn quick I wouldn't give a fuck ever again. One kid, I'll fucking kill people. And so for me, to know that the rapture happened, I would kill people, no problem. I would take their money. I got no problem with it. I have
yeah.
no problem with just going up to someone, stabbing them, taking their shit, shooting them, taking their shit, and moving on. Not an innocent person.
When you run for office, this is going to come back up, you know.
I don't care. It's gonna get me elected.
Listen here, Senator Barga.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys met Donald Trump. It will get me elected.
Yeah, yeah,
If it
yeah.
comes back to haunt you, it means that we've had people watching our podcast.
God bless
Wow. Hey,
Yeah.
well, I'm Christian,
you. Yeah.
and I've been Christian ever since. I was born again back when I was like 21 in the Navy, even though I was a drunken alcoholic, practicing drunken alcoholics, serving in the Navy,
Well,
traveling the world, and being born again. So I'm born again.
Blood.
So I believe that, in forgiveness of sin once and for all. And I believe the rapture didn't happen because I'm still here. And I believe in God's grace.
Hey, guess what? You guys like each other?
Yeah.
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 Oh. Do you guys do it?
We live together.
But you do it.
Yeah.
Look at you, sinners. You're not going to heaven, dude.
No.
There's a thing in the Bible.
It's called God's grace.
Hey,
No!
Did you ever see
No,
here?
you can't keep fucking her and going
Where
God.
sin abounds, grace abounds much more.
I mean,
We all sin.
No, but do you see what I'm
Do
saying?
you jerk it? Do you jerk it? Do you jerk it? You?
So
I'm
much.
Do you out there? Yeah, you jerk
Only 'cause you're
it. Are you human?
Weird thing. No.
Are you human?
I
Yes,
don't jerk it. I
but
have
you
a
know what it
girlfriend.
is?
See, that's not how God is. You got God all wrong then if you're talking like that.
If your God's right.
No. My God's gracious
No, but
and
if-
loving
if
and
your God
merciful
is right.
and forgiving.
Yes, but remember, your God is also the white man's God that he pushed on you. Forced you to believe it.
They didn't force me.
You, really? Because I don't know
No.
about Indian religion being like Jesus. They're like, hey, guys,
No, it's
guess
not.
what? We're all Indians, but there was this wacky blonde Jew with blue eyes.
Hey, now.
But just like the rest of the world, our
That's Tom Allen there.
check it out. Check it out. From what there was a ceremony called sundancing where they have this tree in the middle, and the men usually hang off of it. They pierce. So that's like a sacrifice, and then women do it now too. Okay. So culturally speaking, our people did similar things because Jesus hung on a cross. If you think about it, and he shed his blood for the whole world.
No, I'm with you. Except, here's the thing. The native people were made to accept Jesus and Christianity and Catholicism. What is it? You can't.
Well, yeah, you're talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality. And religion is a lot different than spirituality. When they're taking money and basically going and taking and raping women and children and killing them, and they're doing all that stuff. That's what they did to our people. Just the same as they did it to other people in other countries, though. And we're not the only ones that happened to.
Okay, so if you can see this, people, read what it says, Theo.
The first
It's a black
Christian
man.
was made at the end of a whip. It's Dick Gregory, by the way. First black Christian was made at the end of a whip. You can't worship your oppressor's God. And
There are black Jews, my brothers and sisters, okay? So, no, there are. Yeah, there are. Yeah, there
The
are.
original Jews were black. There's not black Jews like they came out of nowhere. The original Hebrews were African.
Right.
And
I've been trying to tell you I'm a black girl. I've been trying to tell
Okay,
and they
just like in any religion, there are, in Christianity,
because of the Ashkenazi.
in Christianity, let me tell you what, they have bastardized it so much. They got it all wrong because they wanted to control the money and the power. They forgot about what it was all about. Freeing everybody. All
But here's the thing.
in the name of
Yeah,
Christ.
but here's the thing. So Jesus,
Mhm.
and I say this because we're talking about the rapture. Jesus.
It was never forced on me, by the way.
Down and tore down the curtains.
Your family.
Tore down the curtains and
Uh-huh.
told the Jews,
Uh-huh.
you cannot separate. You can't separate. Well, you know what? Go to Creflo Dollar's church. You know who's sitting up front? The biggest dollars. They got the same curtain.
That's called religion, bro.
Oh no, I know.
I'm talking about God's grace.
But this is what I'm saying. So if we get into
It's called grace.
So if we get into spirituality. Your God.
Yeah.
Yahweh.
He's here because we're
Wait, hold on.
we're two or more talking about him. He's also there, so he's here.
Every Indian God you believed in,
Uh-huh.
all of them real.
I believe in Christ.
No,
That's
no,
who I
wait.
pray to. Even when I go in a sweat lodge, I pray to Christ.
But what?
And
That's actually
little known
kind of
fact-
funny.
Little known fact, and JR,
fine.
please speak on this. But little known facts, this religion was not forced upon him. He
No.
didn't choose it recently. He's a direct descendant of Chief Gall. Chief Gall was a Christian.
So, and also
Choice.
they converted, and you know what? Chief Gall was. I can't say who was really saved or not, but I know in my heart I love the Lord more than anything. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I know I'm always getting challenged on this issue, but I love the Lord.
Well, you know what it is? I wouldn't even challenge you on it. Oh yeah.
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 And I would not even. Oh God. Damn.
No, I mean I love the
So mad
challenge.
about that.
Here, take that.
Are you
Take that one, babe.
bitch? What's up, Mike Amico? He's fine. Amico,
Hey, hi.
Amico. Put your fat face.
I'm out. I gotta go.
Okay,
Why-
bye, Talmo.
Take me over. No, you didn't take me over, but he's in the area, so you.
I don't like Amico.
Ah!
Fuck no.
Can I get a
So
cigarette?
already fucking
He came by for a cigarette.
Christ. So okay. So this is what I'm saying though. Is,
So I don't believe the rapture is happening, and that's kind of how this started. Like I
which
really
is
don't
great.
believe it's happening.
Which is great unless it did.
There's more things
Yeah.
that need to happen.
Well, how would you possibly believe it happened when you got forgotten?
This is too hypothetical.
No, but what I'm saying though is watch.
Because he says when he comes back, everybody's gonna see.
Ah.
Everyone.
Now
will
here's
see.
the thing. I've always said this.
That's what I was telling
Now
you
I've always
earlier.
said this though. If Jesus comes down on a white-winged horse, who's not jumping on board? I don't even care if he's the false prophet. I'm with him. He's got a flying fucking horse
From the heavens.
from the heavens.
Pegasus.
Amen.
I'm with him.
Amen.
Anyone who
See, now you're
you know what
preaching,
though?
bro.
No, you know what?
Yeah,
you know what?
I'm with
Drug
that.
dealers. There's gonna
We're
be
all
someone in
going
the
with
middle.
it, man.
There's gonna be
We're
someone.
all going.
People in the middle of fucking hookers are gonna stop and go, "My bad. I'm with you."
Because he died
Because you're on
the
a
cross.
goddamn white flying
Because the
horse.
scripture says he died on the cross even while we were sinning.
But here's
He
the
gave
thing.
his life.
But here's the thing.
Whoa.
Here's the thing, though. He came down on a flying horse.
He's
The
done
guy
it.
on a
He's going
flying
to.
horse wins.
Yeah.
So
Forget
who?
about it.
If he
Who
He
did,
at-
already won.
Who
bro.
at that moment?
2,000
But
years
here's the
ago
thing.
On the cross.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Who? Excuse me. Who isn't following the guy on the flying horse? Who's sitting here going, "Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm good, dude. Fuck you. I don't believe."
No, I think they're going to
came
jump
from
on
that-
board. I think they're more like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the thing is he
We're
said-
jaded.
but
People
he
are
said
jaded.
when he said
Science-y smart rats have jaded
But
us.
the Bible says when Jesus comes down, he will come down from the heavens on a white horse. Here's the thing. If he does come
Honey,
down,
that's how I want our wedding.
but now
What do
here's
you
the
mean
thing.
if?
But
It's
here's the
written
thing. But
already.
here's
Honey, that's how I want our wedding. I want you to fly down on a horse.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
read the scroll.
If like you're a Jew, okay?
Very much so. Go
If
on.
Jesus,
My
if
car
somebody,
broke down.
if anyone, if Ted Nugent comes out of the
Might be a
sky
horse.
on a flying horse and goes, "Follow me," are you gonna question that shit?
Yeah, it says test
I'm not
the
going to
spirit.
worship Ted Nugent.
Really? He's got a flying horse from heaven.
I think
Somebody
it says
did.
in 1 John or 3 John. Test
Who
the
cares?
spirit.
Honestly, part of me is like, I can't believe you guys believe in Santa Claus. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
He's real.
But part of me is also like enrolled in how he's teaching it
Is
to
he?
me. No. Like, for the first time, I realized what a fucking rock star Jesus was and why are Jews hating on him so hard when they produced such a fucking rock
Why
star.
do we hate David Koresh?
Nah, you
No,
can't compare
no,
those guys.
No, you have to remember, we went after Koresh because he was controlling people. We said he was controlling people. We went after him.
Jesus was not like David Koresh. He was.
But the persecution was the same.
No, we
Well, you didn't have
didn't we
treating correct for barbers.
yeah,
Wait a
we
second.
didn't we like
Give
bomb?
us Barabbas
Didn't we
for
like
getting
bomb his
correct.
building?
No, but here's the thing: is we said
That was some dope.
David Koresh that Koresh was fucking kids and he was doing weird shit. We said it. Do you think that the Jews at that time and the Romans, who, let's just keep in mind, the Romans were the deciding factor on the death of Jesus?
Listen, I've been to Israel. I've seen the old Orthodox Jews at the wall, at the Wailing Wall, and they're making a big display of their prayers. And when he showed me the Bible, like this parts of the Bible, and he's talking about the parts where Jesus is talking, and that where he's saying, pray, in private, like worship in private, like we'll stop making a big show of it and be sincere.
In the book of Daniel.
Right? Like that's when I was sold. I was like, I've been there. I see them out there on the wall, fucking making a big display of it, and it's like, what? You're just looking good.
But what?
That's just you looking good, looking like you're saying.
You're
It's a showboat. You're showboating.
But you know
Quit
what it is? You know what
showboating.
it is? There's other Jews, low key, doing nothing, making no noise about nothing, being very religious and being very spiritual, Kabbalah, all these different things, and they're very deep into it.
And there's Jews all over the world who are not Zionist pigs like my family, are not Zionists. We are pro-Palestine. We want to help those people. My dad's furious. When he was a kid, he was he was collecting money for trees for Israel, and instead the government lied to this kid, and they gave that money for arms. They lied to
Against
people.
Palestinians.
They lied to
But
all
those
these
are
American.
little roaches.
Who? Oh my God.
All right, Burger.
No, you know.
Let's,
So when it happens, though,
Oh, the game.
when the rapture does happen,
Yeah, which it has.
you're supposed to just see people disappearing.
Which, again,
I-
keep in mind, though.
Michael Jackson just fucking up
Not
and
even
poofed
the
away.
rapture,
No, no.
actually.
But
He's gonna
keep in
come
mind-
back and get his own.
Yeah, but keep in mind.
That's what he's gonna do.
Keep in mind this. There are people who've disappeared. Now, again, I go back to the Mandela effect. What I say is, Mandela originally
Yeah,
was
but
There's a lot of missing
people.
people.
Are missing.
Let
It's
me
because
finish,
of the
Jared.
body parts that
Jared,
are
I
being
get it.
sold
We took your
on
land.
your other
Let me
topic.
finish the conversation. So, what? Here's the thing.
That's
though.
why they go missing.
Just let him talk.
So if these people are missing, like a Mandela, who originally never did anything wrong, only fought for his people, literally wanted freedom, was a pure person, disappears, so to speak.
The Bible says
let me-
not one is
yeah,
good.
No, but wait, let me tell you this.
Not
though.
one.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. Now, if certain
Every rotten one of
people
them.
are gone, and certain things happen. Here's the thing: if people started disappearing that we knew were good, we'd flip. If we realized we were left from the rapture, we would flip. You would lose your mind. You would realize everything you cared about, everything you thought. Wait, let me finish.
Not even Jesus knows
No,
when he's
it
coming
doesn't even
back.
matter.
Look, there's an
though.
entire
But this-
series
Only
about
the
this.
Father
this-
Honey, he's not finished telling
This is
his.
theoretical. If the rapture happened and your whole belief didn't matter because you weren't good enough to get into heaven, you wouldn't give a fuck anymore. You would flip out, and there would be no control.
Unless
We
there's
are
a second
controlled.
I have a
to it.
personal
I-
relationship with.
I get what
my
you're
Lord
saying,
and
and if
Savior,
you're
Jesus
right,
Christ.
and if you're
I know you
right,
call him.
you know
I
what?
do.
If
He's
you're
as
right,
real to me as you
he's
are,
as
bro.
real to you.
Yeah.
He's as
He
real
is.
to you as
He's
Santa
saying
Claus was to my
No,
kids till I
he's
told
not.
them.
He's not.
No, he is as real
No,
to you
I have a
as Santa
personal
Claus is to
relationship.
kids. Yeah,
No.
they did too.
That's
They
how
wrote
I
notes.
know.
They wrote letters
See,
to this
he
guy.
sent me here to tell
he
you.
answered the letters.
He sent me here to tell you.
I get it.
I'm still waiting.
He answered the letters.
And it's free.
Santa answered
You don't have
the
to
letters.
do nothing.
Right, but
And
Santa.
you ain't got to be perfect either because
Tooth
he knows
Fairy-
he can't keep the 10 Commandments.
Totally.
So he came and already fulfilled it for us.
Totally.
We're paid in full.
We get.
Bam.
Jer, we get.
And you can
Jer,
be too.
Jer, we
And
get.
you and
Jer,
you and
Jer.
anybody.
I've never seen this guy get so sober so quickly.
We all get.
And I'm the savage.
Jer, we all get the Hollywood speech. Here's the thing. What if you're dead ass wrong?
That's my heart.
Yeah,
what
no,
if
no.
I'm dead ass right? Think
Totally.
about that, bro.
Totally. You know what?
You can come
Wait,
right now.
wait,
Maybe God
wait,
sent me here
watch.
for a
Watch
divine
this.
podcast.
If you are
today.
dead
Hold
ass
on.
right, wait. If
I
you're
love
right,
the Lord.
if you're right, God bless it, baby,
The-
because I'm going to heaven.
Okay, the Bible says
Yeah.
all you have to do is believe that Jesus came and paid that price for you and believe with your heart.
What if I do this?
Because only
What
God
if-
knows your
yeah,
heart.
What if I do this? What if I only serve
That's
the
all you
greater
gotta do
good?
is believe
Wait,
what I
but-
just said. That's what the Bible says.
I think
That's
that
how you make
you need to change your podcast name to the time when
I'm
Burger
Make it
challenged.
by faith, and by faith alone. And your name
Christian.
is David.
Creflo Dollar.
Yeah.
Actually, your name is David, so you have
I'm
a-
named
a-
after the Star of
so,
David. I'm
yeah.
named after King David.
You're-
Yes. Yes.
you're like
let me,
kingly,
let me
bro.
explain. Let me explain something to you though. What if? Forget everything you believe in. What if you're dead ass wrong? Now here's the thing.
Okay.
No, no.
It's a what if. It's a what
there's
if.
No way in life we know 100% we are right until we know we are right or wrong. And right now you believe. But again, if you were dead ass wrong, everything you believed was right, you just didn't qualify for the rapture. Here's what I'm saying. Wouldn't you then be like, fuck all this then?
Not qualified.
Why am I could be
Goodness.
fucking horses. Fuck all this. I could take money, I could do coke, I could do everything. None of it matters because again I go back to what Theo said, his fear is prison, mine isn't. I am not afraid of prison, I'm afraid of judgment.
Hell is a
I'm
prison.
with you.
Be honest,
I'm
honey.
afraid of
I
judgment.
know
You
you.
don't
You
have
like to
you're
party.
not
No,
gonna
no, listen to what I'm
You're
saying,
not
though.
going to go through judgment if you just believe.
No, no.
'Cause someone
This-
already paid
this
the
is what I'm
price for
saying,
your
though.
sins.
This
The
is what I'm
Bible
saying.
says your sin is
Yeah.
as far as the east is from
Yeah.
the west. God can't see it, bro.
But if Mohammed's right, everyone's wrong. So that what I'm saying is what you're saying is great.
So you don't
if
have
you're
to
right.
fear.
What if
See,
you're
fear
right?
is what they're
Yeah.
instilling it
Yeah.
into the whole world
Can-
today,
can we
and
play
that's
a
the
game?
problem.
No, no, in one
and,
second.
And everybody's
If
buying
you're
fear.
right.
See, God
If
didn't
you're
give
right.
us. If you just believe in God, the
If
Scripture
you're right.
says. If you just believe in God, it says. The Scripture says God didn't give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the
Yep.
spirit of power, love, and
All that.
sound mind.
All that. If you're right. If you're wrong.
So that
but if
spirit
you're
of fear
wrong,
comes from
No. All right. I can speak on this. I feel like I could referee right now. I feel like I can
Go.
speak on that because what you're saying is, fuck, I'm stoned.
if you're
Never
right.
mind.
If you're
No. It doesn't matter if you're right because it already empowers him. He's already gained mileage off it.
It
It's,
is
it's like you take a car off of a lot. It's already fucking lost its value because you're gonna use it. He's gonna use it. He's already used it. It's already worked for him. It
helping him.
doesn't matter if it's right or wrong.
Beautiful.
He believes it. It empowers him.
I agree with.
That's all it is to be human.
But here's the thing.
We make the meaning, you guys. Has to make meaning that empowers you. He made a meaning that empowers him.
Which is all great.
So you'll
Unless the rapture
never
happened.
win this argument.
No, but unless the rapture happened and you're left, then what do? Forget what you believe. The rapture
Help
happened.
others.
No, but the rapture
Help
happened.
others. That's my answer.
What, you. But here's the question. The rapture happened.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be
You
funny.
were
That's
left.
real.
Whatever you believe, so what? You were left. You're stuck here. You're not
Okay.
ever going to heaven.
You're asking
in
a
hell.
military veteran. I'm already willing to lay down my life for my country and my friends and my family.
But you're left here.
So what do you think I'm gonna do?
I don't
the
know.
right thing, bro.
But what is the right thing if you're
I'm
left
a
in the
soldier
rapture?
for the Lord.
The game.
But
I'm a
no,
soldier
forget-
for the
but
Lord.
He's gonna help
But
people.
the Lord went like this.
This says
the Lord discharged
DYT
you.
army, but I'm in God's army.
Yeah, but
for
you know what
sure.
it is? The Lord
Can we, play a game?
discharged you from His army and said, "No."
We could have marketed this better and got like a big audience for this debate.
Whoa, I knew it was going here. But
Yeah.
but
Can we,
no, but we never cared. But you know, we go wherever, and this is the thing. I respect every one of your beliefs.
I mean, I believe
Yeah.
my character is who I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Me
And
too.
Actually, my Indian name is Brave Eagle.
Mine's running from the sun.
Okay. So,
Is that your Coke now?
and
No,
I'm Brave Eagle
my
trying
nose
to turn
picking
you
there,
back to
be
the
honest.
sun.
Yeah,
Freckled,
yeah,
don't you?
I
So,
don't.
so anyway, I really believe that no matter what, until the end, I belong to the Lord.
Yes.
And when I get taken
Yes.
out, if it's today or 100 years
Yeah.
from now,
You're
I'm
going to
still
heaven.
And you know what? Can I tell you something? As a girl who's like lived in
One
Hollywood,
at a time.
I have to say this too, that his beliefs make him a really like good person.
They're fantastic.
You know, he's
It's like NA.
clean. It's clean. Like I
I got
feel good energy from this guy because of his beliefs.
Because I stopped. I don't look at people in NA and go, "So why don't you do that?" No, if NA helps you, fuck yeah, it's a great program. AA. All that
Whether Jesus is real or not, what he stood
if
for
it
and his
helps you,
teachings
it's
are
beautiful.
a place to come from, your heart, instead of your ego. Like the 12 stages of the cross is all about killing your ego. It's all about coming from your
You're
heart.
a great human.
It's about being a great
Yes,
human.
But you do it because it's salvation.
Yeah, I'm barely saved.
What if it isn't?
I'm barely
What
saved.
if it
man.
isn't?
It is.
That's what I'm saying. I
I've
get
seen
what
him.
you're saying.
I've seen him.
His is for salvation.
I've
What if
seen
it
him.
Getting
isn't?
something out of it is what you're saying.
What if it isn't?
He wants me to take this
But
word.
what if-
Theo wants to play a game, but he doesn't understand.
Okay,
We've
we're
been
into the
playing.
goddamn game, Theo.
But Theo, we've been playing the what if game. Do you understand? We've been playing the what if game.
This is
Now,
no game.
watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this. We are in the rapture. We didn't get taken. But here's the thing.
Let's not
There-
judge
wait,
each other.
Wait,
by
no,
the
watch.
way, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Watch. We didn't get taken, but there's a black market. There's a black market, and you know what's hot?
Kidneys.
Organs.
Organs.
Organs. So
The
we
or-
got a game on Hamburger Podcast that we're going to be playing,
Called the Oregon Trail.
which means you have to guess how much does the organ cost on the black market. You want to join this, Amico?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck
you
yeah.
want me to access it, or do you? Okay. Yeah, because
Read them off to us. Tell us the first one.
game, This game was too cool to pass up.
No, Theo brought this to us, and I love it.
I love it
Absolutely
too.
love it.
Article of Ranker.com, and anyone who's watching or listening, do not give the answers away
No.
if you see this.
Or do. Who
But
cares?
they list off what each
Or do.
organ is worth, and we're going to start off with the kidneys.
Yeah.
How much do the kidneys sell
$350.
on the black market?
I'm going $350.
The kidneys are a very popular item.
There they are.
I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of them on the market. So I think that's going to drive the price down.
My thought.
It's going to drive the price down. So I'm going to say like moderately in the 100,000 range.
Oh, you went way above.
But
Wow.
there's going to be people who cut lower. You probably could get it even lower than that.
So, I mean, this is a very educated guess.
No, I like that.
Yeah. Smart.
I'd say stay
I'm going to say, yeah, okay. So I'm going to go
Go
like,
with your
okay,
instincts.
I like
okay.
that.
Half that.
Wait. We go in order, asshole.
Okay, the kidneys.
I love you. You're trying
What
to
are
take
they
everything
going
from
for
them.
in the
I love
black
you.
market?
Yeah. What can you buy a kidney
What would you
for
think it
on
would
the black
cost
If I wanted to go on the black market
and get a kidney?
well,
Which is bullshit.
the other day,
50,000.
down the street they have good carne
50,000.
asada. I'm telling you what, I'm getting that for like probably $3 a pound.
Okay, I'm just thinking you date him.
So $1, Bob. $1.
Seriously, he talks about how cheap Jews are, but he
he's
is
so-
way cheaper than any Jew I've ever known.
Yeah.
351 if we're going with the prices
51,
right.
okay, go. What do we got?
351.
I said
It's
350.
351.
$1, Bob.
The
Wait.
price of kidneys. And first off, 75% of the black market organ trade involves the sale of kidneys.
Okay.
Kidneys sell on the black market for $200,000.
Oh, she got
Dinah! This bitch has bought
It's like
kidneys.
she's dealing
She
us.
has bought kidneys.
Why?
That
Stay
is
away from my
beautiful.
kidneys, Dinah.
What's the next one?
Where are the kidneys? I
Only
gotta
reason
start
she's
hiding
dating
this
you.
shit.
You know why she makes you
Whoa.
stay sober? She's like, don't fuck up
She
the
knows
kidney.
I'm full blood
Yeah.
too.
Fun fact
Yeah.
about kidneys, in China and India, they range from $15,000 to $62,000.
Not that fun a fact. What's the next
Wait,
one?
yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
What's our next one?
Our next one is the full...
Oh, by the way, audience out there, you can jump in on this. I don't have my Facebook up. I should.
You bet. Better.
Okay, so let's let the audience jump in
I
too.
guess I can
The
see
full
a comment.
for the full organ.
Mm-hmm.
How much does the liver cost?
Wait a second. Let me get on Facebook.
Ooh.
650. 650,000.
Ooh,
Now is this based on that
I
was
like
the
where you're
lowest?
going with it.
Was 200,000? Is this like a ranking, or
This
are
is
you going
basically
random?
the median cost of a liver.
No, but
Okay.
are you going from like lowest to highest, or
No, this is
Okay.
random.
You know, I changed my
See
750,000.
what I mean?
Okay, so you went...
No, I'm gonna say 350,000.
You going with the dollar?
$1, Bob.
Consistent.
500. 500.
$1, Bob.
Okay.
Trisha, you're so goddamn right.
Burger,
Yeah.
what is your guess
I
on
said
a liver?
350.
Okay. The price of an entire liver is $157,000.
Oh.
Was I it? Where were you?
Well, didn't you win with a dollar?
I was way overinflated.
Yeah, anybody that goes over.
What was it?
JR,
What was it?
$157,000.
I said
Now I run up to the
Yeah, you win it.
Yeah,
son of
you
a
win.
bitch with the goddamn dollar.
That's awesome.
Hey, you win the fucking dollar.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
2 more. Go for it.
2 more. Okay, we're gonna do a bit of a tougher one. here.
Okay.
Explain.
We
Okay,
were just
so
watching Cash Cab, and now look at us.
I love Cash
We
Cab.
were on Cash
Great
Cab,
show.
Now we're on.
It's a fucking great show, Cash Cab.
Yeah.
Now we're on No Cash RV,
That host, there's not a lot of dudes that glow. That host is cool.
The
right?
price of a cornea
Which is the eye.
in your eye.
Yeah.
It's a part of your
Yeah.
eye.
Not the full eye. It's the part of
Just the cornea.
30,000.
Okay, 30,000. Burger?
A cornea?
A cornea.
God damn it. I'm going to say a cornea. Let me see what people are saying.
Oh, you can't crowdsource your answers.
Okay, I'm going to say
He's crowdsourcing his answers.
$78,000.
70?
There need to,
78.
you need to make
$1,000.
you need to make rules, okay? You can do a shout out. You could do one per whatever.
No,
you know.
watch this. Wait, you drink? You drink?
Not right now.
You drink?
Not right now.
Who's driving?
I am, or maybe he is.
No.
Winner
we
gets the
haven't
last of the
decided.
Stoli?
Nah, well.
He drinks. He just doesn't want the white man bringing the Indians.
I'm not going to give a fucking Indian.
30,000?
Fuck.
30,000 from Dinah. Burger, you said
78.
78. Yeah, 78,000.
JR?
Well,
Are you going to go $1 again, Jared?
I'm not gonna go $1 because I already won on that one. But here, it's the gift of sight. All right,
Yes, let's hear it.
that's
right.
what we're talking about. Don't you like to see?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
So
He's selling it on the black
we're
market
gonna
now.
go
Handheld killer.
for 375,000,
Ooh.
Bob.
Okay.
What is it?
70,
Miko?
76,000.
You fucking cunt. He's 1,000 and he's winning me every time.
This is your nemesis. He came to fuck with you.
Damn it.
The price of a cornea to replace it on the black market.
Yeah.
$24,400.
I was closest to it. I was
Close to
30,000.
Fucking, how do you know all this?
I'm a Jew. Come on.
Bitch,
Yeah.
you are
$1.
fucking selling organs, aren't you?
So Burger,
It sounds like
Burger
I
and Miko are
understand the
mathematically
price.
Eliminated.
Horrible. One more. Let's
One
do
more.
It.
Wait, I was in it?
For the championship. For the championship.
All or nothing.
Amico likes 90s rock. He's a dick.
I saw Nickelback. Carry on.
You fuck. You know what's funny though? I always hate that shit when people are like, "Oh, they're this, they're that."
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't even know what group. I like
Yeah.
the song. I never care.
Yeah.
Go on. What's the last one?
I'm going to do
That's
a
yours.
really fun one.
I like
here.
this.
That's mine.
The final one for Black Market Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
How much does a skull with teeth cost?
Wait,
on the
just
black
the
market?
skull?
Just the skull and the teeth.
No head, no
No
skin.
head, just the skull. No neck attached.
$38,000.
That reduces it a lot, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. 38
I mean,
grand.
if you have the meat.
If you have the
Different
whole
story.
head, yeah.
So 75,000.
Because then the Mexican mafia could just put it on a steak and not have to kill
$75,000
anyone.
from Dinah.
How much? What did I say?
said
38. Right?
75, you said 38.
So
I
skull
really
with
like your
teeth,
style.
Yes.
no meat on it.
No meat.
No, just
Okay.
No
skull
skin.
and teeth.
Just skull and teeth.
We're looking at about probably
$1.
$32,000.
Okay.
32
Good
grand.
guess. Amico.
Skull?
Please don't tell me you cheated.
No, my dad texted me.
You don't have a dad.
I don't.
I'm gonna change my answer to 65,000.
Okay.
Wait, so you said 30, 60,
No, I said 30.
65.
38, 65.
32,000.
I mean, be
60
quick. It's a goddamn podcast.
66,000.
What?
Ooh.
66,000.
Okay.
So precursor, I talked to a dude in Texas who was able to buy me
I was gonna say
skulls if I wanted
$65,001.
teeth. So I know the rough price of it. The average price on the black market for a skull with teeth, $1,200.
Way off.
Oh.
Way off.
That's scary.
Who got it?
He
Who
wins?
got it?
Okay, my logic was
2,000,
Yeah.
I said.
here.
The winner of Oregon Trail, tie between Dinah and JR.
Oh.
You know what's great? You know what's great? You know what's so you know
How
what's so,
romantic.
you know what's so beautiful about that
Romantic.
though? You know what's so beautiful about that?
We're the Jew and the Sioux.
Oh, is that a white woman woman
I was
part
trying-
of your glory.
Don't they
It's
all?
you in the suit.
So,
Too soon.
okay,
Too
so I'm
soon.
gonna hate myself. I'm gonna do one thing because I want to bring this up.
Burger, and then we have to do the kill yourself.
Well, okay, but I have to try and get this up. God damn it, what's his name?
I know, right?
Pull the trigger. God damn it, I have to find him because.
Can you share
And
that
someone
on
look
my
at
page?
Facebook and see if we're still being seen because I hope we are.
Share
We
it on
are.
your page.
We're still on.
So,
We're still
okay,
on?
here's my thing. Because there was this thing that was posted. What was the guy's name? Hannibal?
Hannibal Buress, right?
No, it wasn't him.
I don't know.
Lecter?
The guy who posted the
Larry.
thing with the woman.
Fuck! About the
Oh, you're
next
talking about the
Clary.
racial.
Yeah, yeah.
Join me for dinner tonight, Claire.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, the Rachel thing. And so, I need to find it real quick. Hold on,
Quickly.
because I want to do this. I really want to do this. Now, I shared it, but I think it got taken down.
Clary.
Like, they literally took it down from my sharing it.
Clary.
But let me see if they did. God damn it. Let me see. I'm so sorry.
When's the wedding?
I gotta apologize, people. I gotta
Let's have
apologize.
dinner tonight, Clary.
But I want to see.
sing for
God
free,
damn it.
'cause there's no
It's not there.
We can talk about it next week.
No, I really
was
want to do
on
this, though.
fire.
Because it was great. Because it was insane.
Operation Lemonade.
Meow.
Damn it.
I love that.
No, it wasn't after him. Okay. What was
Yeah,
the
they
guy's
were
name?
doing-
Okay, let me find the guy because this. Now here's the thing, Dinah, you'll be big on this because I know you feel like I do. But there was this woman that was saying this racial shit,
Nice.
and
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Carry on.
and so
Carry on,
I'm trying
carry
to find
on.
this guy. I
Trump
think that's it.
supporters are
God, I
like,
hope
yeah,
this is it.
yeah.
I hope this is it. So there was this woman saying this shit that, yeah, this is him. This is him. Okay, hold on. And I believe it's Hannibal Thompson. And so this woman was
The cannibal.
calling.
Hannibal the cannibal.
Let me see it. Let me find it. Okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, hold on.
Clary.
God damn it, where do you got it, Hannibal? What are you doing to me, buddy?
It's over here, Clary.
I mean, it's pissing me off because this motherfucker.
I need a job where I can sit with
Okay, here it
a
is.
generator on.
Here it is.
My laptop and some vodka. I am Burger.
I love that.
That's a great job.
Let me find this.
Great hours. Good benefits.
My hours are
Oh, okay. Okay.
whatever hours
So
I want.
if I can do this, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let me see.
I accepted the link
Yeah, accept the link on
Well, can
the
you give like a
timeline, baby.
Yeah.
preface to it?
Wait, but I just gotta get this. Hold on.
If the rapture comes, I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm Burger.
You know what? First of all, I hate when you motherfuckers show my voice as being that Grady, because to me, it doesn't sound like that.
Was it
Yeah,
the
you think you're
cigarettes
both-
or all the dick?
Let me explain something to you, fucking faggot. Let me break something down to you, Amico.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it all the semen? or-
I don't like you fucking queers like you. I
The
don't-
semen would
I don't mean
coat
you
his throat,
people,
though.
I mean,
I don't mean
you,
gay.
you piece of shit. Hold on.
I don't mean you gay people.
I
Clary.
didn't think I got that gig in Bakersfield.
The what?
I think I got that big gig going to Bakersfield with you.
You know what's funny is okay, here it is. Let me see if I can
My
get
birthday's coming up.
Berries.
it.
It's a fine time to tell you my birthday's coming up.
I'm super excited about that.
Don't talk like hold your language in front of the kid. Don't. You know?
She knows what all these motherfuckers are about!
This will be super fun.
Just get the fuck out!
Why don't you get her in the house? You got her.
Shut up! I need you to get in the house! Felicia!
Video?
Don't talk like hold your language in front of the kid. Don't. You know?
She knows what all these motherfuckers are about! Just get the fuck out!
Why don't you get her in the house? You got her.
Shut up! I need you to get in the house! Felicia!
talk like hold your language in front of the kid. Don't you know?
She knows what all these motherfuckers are doing. Just get the fuck out!
Why don't you get her in the house? Got her.
Shut up! I need you to get in the house. Felicia!
Don't talk like hold your language in front of the kid. Don't you know?
She knows what all these motherfuckers are doing. Just get the fuck out!
Why don't you get her in the house? Got her.
Shut up! I need you to get in the house. Felicia!
You can be like, you drug dealing pieces of shit. You scum fucks, you kid killers, you fucks. Everything but race.
That's her revealing. That's her revealing her racism.
Now, she is not a white woman. She's a woman of color. This is the thing, because a few people commented about racist women.
Mostly old white women.
Well, no, there were people talking about like her being a racist white woman, and
they're like, you're wrong. She's a woman of color.
It's like, no, she is a woman of color. Like, realize that racism has no color.
Listen, she's got road rage. Like, she's got porch rage.
Yeah. But she's Latin, and so the thing is
fiery. It's a fiery culture. Is that racist?
No, it's not. No, it's not. They don't get that excuse to be fiery. It's like, oh, he hit his wife. They're fiery. Fuck you. He's a fucking woman.
I'm not saying there's an excuse. I'm just saying that like people do that. That's like not being PC. Like people fucking do that, dude.
People don't get in Latin America. Dropping N-words ain't no big thing.
No, it's the
hating black people is not shut down in Latin America
because white supremacy informs them that they're white.
No.
Yes.
Because way before.
Ask Ann Coulter.
Wait. Historically.
There's only black and white.
Yeah, but just so we know, historically, they hated black people way before white people had anything to do with much of the world. They hated black people way back from the Moors, who came through and raped them. Their
shit!
For black people goes way before. It has nothing to do with white people. They've been hating darker skin
from the Moorish rapes,
Latin America, way before white people ever did shit. So their hatred was not influenced by white people. It was influenced by Moors raping them. Is why they hate black people. And so, but we nowadays want to say like, oh, the white people must have told them to hate. No, their hatred goes so deep, and it's from being raped and pillaged and robbed by Moors. And so when we look at that lady, there is no excuse for what she said. And someone said this. First of all, someone who thought she was white made a comment about, well, maybe she isn't racist.
My point is she's being superior by saying that she's making herself superior over. I'm assuming they're black.
Yeah, they were. That
okay.
comic was black. Who, God bless them for doing
okay,
that.
So that's her being furious about what they're doing, and in her anger, she's revealing her racism.
Yeah,
it's
her racism
it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter if she's not white. She is she's Latina,
well, but
apparently.
It matters only when people call her white. You see, because the problem is we put a face on racism.
In her mind, but you have to understand, in her mind, she's white, and in the mind of men, and in the mind of
Latin.
In her mind, she's comes from.
She knows she's
Latin.
Latin.
She knows she's Latin. She knows.
Got an accent.
You have to understand that.
Racism is about going.
Again, media
being for your race.
All over the world has demonized black people, and that
I haven't.
Growing up,
I love my wife and daughter.
I'm not saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying the whole
that
world
doesn't mean media doesn't do it.
The media.
Media dehumanizes people of color.
No.
And so people of color know how to dehumanize each other as well.
No.
Because that's what we learn from the general media
But
overall.
this is where we go back to.
Let's keep
where you're
let's
in
keep
the-
this
yeah.
let's keep this relevant. We just had in Florida, they had all these looters, and there was all these pictures. I'm on Twitter. I see the hate against black people looting, and then you know you look at these other pictures, and there as many white pictures of white people looting. And then they're like, look, these are white people looting. Here's video. I offer you this video evidence of white people. Why don't you show that picture? And it's just people looting.
How about this?
It's poor people looting.
Right.
Poor people come in every shade.
We don't have to.
Listen, black people hate on their poor brothers and sisters. There's classism in this country. It's classism. It's people are hating on the poor, from the 1% all the way down to us. It's the same thing that poor white people did to black people. The one thing that poor white people had before slavery it was like now.
Jesus Christ,
that's job. Do you understand why black people didn't get reparations? Was because of poor Trump supporters back then. Those poor white people who could say, at least I'm better than an N-word, okay? And that's what they would say. And then they'd say, okay, well, at least, like, there's a free black man that lives down the street that has his 40 acres and a mule, and he's got more now than this poor white guy. And that white guy goes and he shoots the mule from that black guy.
But he never got the mule.
That's a real thing. I understand reparations never happened, but some did. You have to understand, some did. There was in history.
They hated losing their jobs.
In history, there are some that did. There were some reparations, and it stopped because of racism. Because of poor black people, poor white people did not want to see a black man have more than them. That's what happened.
Do you know why? Trump has the Latin vote? Because there's American Latin people who don't want to see they don't want to see other people come from Mexico and shit like that getting jobs. These are Latin people, and this is the thing: is it goes through and through.
Again, it's classism. They made it here. They don't want those people making them look bad.
But there ain't it's not poor white people, because this is the thing: is I grew up real poor, not now I'm poor.
Yeah.
I grew up actual poor.
Yeah, let's let people know that not all Jews are fucking rich, greedy fucking people. Like, we both grew up poor.
I grew up actual poor. I was 14 living on the streets.
I was 12 years old and I left home because I could fucking make it work better than what was happening in my house. People think, like, I'm a Jap or, like, go back to New York, bitch. Like, not...
What did your parents do?
My parents were hippies. They were revolutionaries. My parents, my mom and my dad, they met during civil rights. My mom, they were radical hippies. They were not just hippies. They were radicals that were meant to change the fucking world. Like, I was conceived on acid. I'm pretty sure. They were the most legitest.
Parents.
No. Nope.
Your parents didn't make money.
Nope.
Did you live in a house?
My dad was actually a psychologist, and he was on the reservation giving.
You just said he was educated.
He was. He was educated. He was one degree. This is my dad, my hippie dad, radical dad. He was 1 degree away from his PhD, and he told his professor to go fuck himself. He had a prominent practice, but he never got any money for it because he was on the reservation. There was a heroin problem on the reservation, and he was basically doing skull jobs for Indians, quote unquote. All right.
Is that why you dig him?
I grew up in New Mexico. Yes,
Like she was saying.
Yeah, he's my dream guy.
What is the skull jobs for Indians? What is that? That sounded racist.
It is.
That was their word.
I'm sorry.
For a car?
I am
No,
with
explain it because I have Native American audience watching right now too, holding you guys accountable.
Wait, not hold you guys accountable. Your girlfriend said it.
Guys,
we didn't say it. We didn't.
You see, she says there's no racism.
Stop! Don't take me wrong.
No.
Don't take me wrong. Like,
there's nothing racist about Dinah.
Don't take me wrong. Like, that's not. I did air quotes because that's what
That's the word.
That's what he said.
No, we know that.
I was listening.
It was way funnier if you were racist with him. Only, but in truth, yeah, obviously. There's nothing racist.
Well, when I got here, we thought it was the building across the street. When we found out it was like the RV across the street, he's like, "You really are blonde, are you?"
Yeah. We are real white trash. here. And so, no, but the reason I say that is because when we look, you are not even a guest.
I know. I'm
You
sorry.
shut the fuck up.
Yes, sir.
You don't even look over the. Is he on camera?
Yeah, he is.
God damn it. Okay, so the thing is, that's what I'm saying is when we wrap everything together, when you look at it with 9/11, with everything that's gone on in life, with possibly the rapture happening, with all this shit, it does explain life today. It does
It's
explain
what
why
the
it would be
media
like
puts
this.
out. I'm telling you.
But this is what I'm saying is if the rapture happened, if everything happened, if all this took place, we would be the remnants. It makes sense that the Trumps and the Hillarys and all these evil ass people
Now, what do you mean
are
the
controlling
remnant?
us. Meaning
Because
we-
the Bible talks
we're
about a
left.
remnant.
You weren't brought, bro.
How do we get back
the
here?
horse came down.
No.
You didn't roll with it.
Okay, so
We're stuck here.
So go on. So
we're
that
stuck
scares
here.
you.
No, we're stuck here. But
There's
but
not.
the powers that
It
be
ends 7 years after that.
right
Completely,
if
bro.
you're right, but otherwise,
That's the Bible.
Otherwise, we're here. It's for naught, and the powers that be keep everything in place to satisfy us. Because if we realize
That's going to happen. That's the Antichrist.
if we realize,
I hear there's a planet
left.
too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we realize
second
we are
planet.
See,
the
Satan's supposed to enter the Antichrist, and
What
he's
was it?
supposed to perform
Danny
some
DeVito.
miracles, and when he performs miracles, everybody's going to believe in him.
All right,
right, but right now
Danny DeVito is the Antichrist?
we're gonna end with this: is that right? Except for Danny DeVito found out that he was the leftover shit from Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Twins,
Yeah.
and it hurt him. What if you just found out that you were the leftover shit from Christ, and he moved on?
What?
He
and
lives
all
in
this
me.
shit happened.
He-
Yeah, that might be right.
He lives in me.
Or rapture happened and the horse rode. You weren't welcome. And that could be true. And all I'm saying is, yourself.
Once you're
No,
saved, you
who's it
become a
gonna be?
part of the
Okay.
body of Christ.
So, who should you kill yourself
I don't know,
for?
whoever
Do we
you
think
want.
of it?
It just it's very bleak. It's a very bleak reality that you're pushing.
To kill yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, we give out the
We're
award
very
every
serious
week.
about it.
Do you give it out every week?
Oh, yeah. To certain
The
people.
new.
I don't know who I want this week.
You know what? I have a person this
Who?
week.
That's not right, you guys.
No,
it's
no,
very-
we're an advocate of it. Over 18. 18 and 364 days.
Person
Basically,
who
if you're
should kill-
19, you kill yourself, go ahead.
Person who should
Yeah,
kill
under
themselves
that, I'll work with you.
this week is a white nationalist from Chicago who got coffee spilled on him by a black guy in a cafe, and he yelled at him, "Shut up, slave!" Berated his kids, and now he's getting charged with felony hate crime.
Good. As well he should.
Beautiful. That will be our kill yourself.
I think we're starting to win. These things, people are starting to be held accountable.
No,
Yeah.
because you know what's
It's
gonna
the
happen?
beginning of people
No,
being held
the liberals
accountable.
are the
100%.
new Nazis.
No, there's
Guys, I'm
that's
Burger
bullshit.
Podcast.
That's bullshit.
Have a great evening.
Yeah.
Liberals are the
Plugs.
new Nazis.
Plugs.
Kill yourself. Thank you. Plugs. What do you got going on?
Wow, guys. Let's see. I'm in a movie and a web series called Crazy Bitches, Crazier Bitches, and you can see a trailer of that. Oh, I have a horror film that's going to be out in the New York Horror Film Fest, New York Horror Film Festival in October. I think it's like
hell yeah.
the 13th through the 7th through the 13th or something like that. All right, so come see me in New York, October 13th
Oh,
through
yeah.
something. Bye.
You gotta hit up Julius Donat in Dangerfields.
Yeah, okay.
Go out there. Hit
Oh.
him up. He's one of the greatest guys ever.
Thank you very much. I will do that.
JR, what do you got going on? JR, by the way, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we needed a
Hey,
soldier.
you're welcome.
Not
Thank
only
you
are
for
you a
having me.
soldier, you're a Native American. I mean, you couldn't fucking be more this country.
Shout out to David Feingold for telling me about it because he
Yeah.
sent me a thing and I
Yeah.
asked him and he said yes.
Jew.
Yeah,
Thank you, David Feingold.
I'd like to plug my website, reservationsensation.com.
Oh, yeah.
Check out my Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm on there, JR Redwater. And also, September 22nd, I'm going to be at the Muckleshoot Casino in Auburn, Washington, which is up in Seattle, so northwest. Come out and see me and the Chiefs of Comedy. That's Mark Yaffe and my son Titan Redwater, and I'll be headlining that show. So come out. That's at the Galaxy at the Muckleshoot Casino on September 22nd.
And also keep an eye out for your tour of holy shit, wasn't that my land?
Yeah,
And
yeah. The Chiefs of Comedy. Holy
Theo,
shit.
what do you got going
This
on?
is our land.
You should do that, though. Wasn't that my land?
Friday I'm on in North Hollywood for Garage Chronicles, and then Saturday I'm at the Ice House.
Aren't we doing something on the 21st? That's
well,
real?
I'll let you. Yeah, no, the Ice House is real. I'm
no,
sure,
Ice House is real. Who's the Ice House?
Jerry Bednob and Sam Klossman. I'm playing along with.
Okay, so and we got something on the 21st.
21st, you and I are in Fresno. For October 4th, I Am Burger podcast is in Las Vegas.
And then we're gonna be in Las Vegas doing the.
I forgot to say the title of the film at the horror. It's called Flesh Blanket with the late Ramsey Moore.
Oh yeah.
Flesh Blanket.
Yeah.
She died or he died?
He died. He died. It's
Film.
making the film, smothering a hooker in the film.
Watch the film. And I'm doing the 21st with you.
Fresno, baby.
Fresno, that's gonna be great with TK. And then I'm doing the 27th in Waterford. Waterford's fantastic. They're Clan Light. They're wonderful. We'll be up there with Jimmy D. Menez and
yeah.
love him. And we got some shit going on. Miko, what do you got going on? No one cares, you fuck. No, go on. What do you got? Say something. Whatever.
The
Who
only thing I
cares?
got
Right
is
here.
Dark Horse on Thursday.
Yeah,
We're probably
fucking
gonna go there.
loser.
Do you want to ride there? Do you
Yeah.
want to ride there tomorrow?
Am I doing it?
You can probably get there.
Nah, I don't want to.
Okay.
Follow
I
us.
love her though.
Follow us on Facebook,
Yeah.
I'm Burger Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at I'm Burger Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at We Need to Set One Up.
We do. And I'm BurgerPodcastStudios.com.
Yes, absolutely.
You treat this
And-
guy like Hollywood treats
iTunes.
Corey Feldman.
Download us and rate us on iTunes.
No, there's no way we like him as much as Hollywood likes Corey Feldman.
Download us on iTunes.
Yeah.
I'm Burger Studios. Make sure to rate us. Give us
Check
5
it all
stars.
out, guys. I'm Burger Podcast. Keep in mind, a lot of your daughters are whores.
Wow.
That's all you.
Also choreography. Watch.